All right, welcome in everyone. We are doing the weekly reading for the week of January 6th through the 12th. So we're going to take a look and get a little, I'm going to tap into the astrology for the week, the planetary alignments, how that's impacting us this week, and then we'll pull some cards to see what's going on here. Oh, just turn the phone off there. All right, so we're just diving into January here. How's that Mars retrograde treating everyone? So where to begin here? I'll just quick. So the January reading, the individual zodiac readings, most of them are out. I think I have a couple left to post, but I'm going to be finishing that up today. So if you don't see yours up yet, I started with Capricorn, so I'm on the tail end, I think, of, like Virgo through Sagittarius. So thanks for your patience. I will get those out. Yeah, so that's taking a look at the month for the individual zodiacs. All right. So as planetary alignments here. So the first things to call out, there's a few things happening on the 6th of January, which is Monday. So first of all, Mars has been in retrograde, but Mars is moving into Cancer on the 6th. So this is going to be a major kind of impact to everybody. Mars and Cancer are very opposite. Mars wants to take action, and Mars is about, to me, more kind of in the... There is some depth to Mars, but ultimately Mars wants to take action, but it's in retrograde. And then you have Cancer, which is very deep and emotional and watery. And so how this is going to play out is watch out for some major feelings coming up. So this is going to happen with everyone. So this is a time to be very objective with yourself and others, because everyone's going to be triggered. I mean, this is going to be, not to be negative, but this is like literally eruption energy, like volcanic emotional eruption energy. So this is really bringing up withheld feelings in the collective and individually in regards to any unresolved issues or feelings that is still kind of lingering in the unconscious depths. This can go back to childhood wounds and trauma. This is really about any wounds that are still open that have not been healed or repaired are going to be really felt. It's going to surface. And this is like anger and rage kind of territory here. So, and we think about Cancer, Cancer is about the home. It's also, Cancer represents the mother energy. It's that what kind of support and nurturing do we need as individuals? And if we didn't get that, that's playing out, that creates wounds. It definitely creates resentments and angers and things around things we didn't receive. That's also going to bring up, like, current day, what are those things that we need? What do we need emotionally as an individual person? Like, what are our needs? What are our desires? And if we're not getting those met, we're going to be on the forefront of standing up for ourselves and saying, you know what, I deserve these. And you do deserve them. They could, but again, it could erupt. So if there's people in your life and relationships that there's still baggage there, or there's currently with romantic relationships, areas where you're not getting your needs met, those are really going to be highlighted. And why does this happen? Again, life and the universal energies are always bringing us back into oneness. So The problem with humanity and our current reality is that most of us are not always focused on bringing oneness back to the self, and that is that holistic oneness between our physical body, our emotional, our mental, all of these aspects. And it takes a lot of work, and it really takes awareness, objective awareness, emotional intelligence, and real deep connection with oneself. And as we know, that's rare. So of course we're all just in this world every day going around very disembodied, not connected to our body, not connected to our emotions. So there's a lot of wounds. There's definitely a lot of wounds that we all carry that have been festering for a long time. And even if we get a wound today, what are you doing to address those wounds? And a lot of times, what does that mean? The consequence it means is potentially you're in a situation, a job, a relationship, or around people that just are not healthy for you as an individual, and they're toxic, and they will continue to create wounds, and they will not help and support the repair of any wounding or disconnection between the relationship, because people don't have those, they were never taught how to do that, and they were never taught how to connect to themselves, and to love themselves and to nurture themselves. And then ultimately they don't know how to do it to themselves, so they do not know how to do it to and support and validate and love and nurture others. So that's going to be a big one. Also on the 6th, Mercury moves into Capricorn. Mercury first squares Neptune on the 6th, and then Mercury moves into Capricorn on the 8th. So this can bring about challenges in communication. So Mercury is all about, rules Gemini. It kind of rules over communication in general. So it can be a challenging time to follow or clearly communicate directions or instructions or even facts. Perceptions may be confused. Again, we can be a little too much in the imagination with that Neptune Piscean energy, and it may distort things that we're communicating and seeing and experiencing. So there's a little bit of that deception or self-deception going on. So I would be watchful on that around that day to not potentially have any really deep conversations, business dealings as well, because that may cause issues, and just something to be aware of. And then also on the 8th, the Sun squares Chiron. And with the Sun and Chiron together, I mean, really this is about core wounds again. Chiron is about our core wounds, where the Sun is really about the self and the sense of self. So this is an opportunity. Again, we have Mars with that Cancer energy, and then we have the Sun and Chiron. So this is going to be double down around wounding and our wounds coming up, especially around our sense of self. And anything that's distorted around that is going to ask us to be objective and look at that. And then lastly, on the 12th, we have Mars trining Neptune. This is actually a good day, a good alignment there. So it creates kind of a magical romantic atmosphere. So it's a good day for love or like date nights or romantic getaways. So there is some positive this week besides all the other wounding that's coming up. And it kind of ends the note on that. So we may have a bad week with our partners with all the other aspects, but this one we can end the night and maybe come together and on a better page. So there's the astrological alignments for the week. So let's dive into the cards. I'm using the Sacred Traveler Oracle today. I was kind of intuitively drawn to this one. So first out is Cleansing Waters. Purification activates life force energy. And yes, spot on. There's that Mars, Cancer. That Cancer energy is that watery emotional energy. And this week is really about an emotional cleanse time. Wise leader and miracles. Expect the wonders to emerge. So I do feel like when these hard aspects come up, especially around emotional wounding, core wounds, really feeling into that hurt and anger, these are some of the best aspects as far as opportunities for us. Most of you are like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to deal with this. Most people are actually, when these things come up, they're just going to push them right back down and you push them even deeper. And that's going to cause more imbalances in your life, in your relationships. It's also, if you've ever heard of the book called Your Body Keeps the Score or something like that, our physical manifestation. So our body is an complete mirror of our emotional and psychological state. So if you are dealing with illnesses, disease, even like issues with weight gain and not being able to lose weight, it is all tied back to wounds, emotional trauma, psychological aspects that we need to harmonize. So if you want to keep pushing those down, that's great for you. But again, the impact and consequences long term is going to be more negative than it is to actually face these emotions, work with them, nurture the self, and learn how to relate in a more loving, nurturing way with the self and focus on repairing those traumas. All right, let's look to the tarot and get for more information here. So underneath, yes, spot on, we have the Page of Pentacles. There's the lesson. So these are lessons. There's value in these difficult moments in life, because Six of Swords. So really seeing the value in these opportunities, learning the lesson, learning about the self is what's going to move you forward into a place of more ease and grace. If you feel like life is always challenging for you, if you feel like you deal with a lot of difficult relationships in your life, if you have emotional or even mental challenges, again, these are all things that are asking you to learn more about the self and the root of these, of where these all come from. And that, again, is the opportunity for us to move forward and to be more emotionally balanced here with this King of Cups. So this is taking us deeper into emotions. But the deeper we go and the more comfortable we can get going deep, that's also what Cancer, the water signs, are asking of us. So this could be tied to someone this could be you, that again is asking us to gain more emotional maturity, responsibility. This could also be someone in your life. It could be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. That's also, and then we have two kings here. We have the King of Wands and the Cups with the Ace of Swords and the healing card, the Four of Swords. And then we have the Queen of Cups, and I'm going to take the Magician here. So we have both the masculine and feminine water king and queen here. So this is where we can truly, this is really talking about an opportunity, getting clarity, understanding our truth, authentically aligning, diving deep again into the emotional body to work on this healing here. Seeing the truth, facing the truth of our core wounds that still are festering and that need our attention. When we think about it, it's so interesting because when we think about, if we have let's say we have an actual wound, like we get hurt and we have this huge open wound, it's bleeding, or potentially it all of a sudden gets infected. Like most of the time, especially, in our current modern state, we're going to go to the doctor or we're going to do something about it, right? But on the other aspect, when we have emotional wounding, it's harder to really understand the state of that wound. Is it infected? We don't know. A lot of us don't have that connection to our emotions to really understand. When we have a festering, infected emotional wound, what is the impact on our life? I mean, it is so intense and so important. So, especially in families, if you have a family that is very dysfunctional, that is very toxic, that is because there's a ton of wounding there that is infected and that no one is facing, no one is working to address and heal, and helping others to. So that is, one thing. If you're dealing with a disease or some intense physical issues, especially chronic, that is because you have emotional wounding that is infected, and it has been infected for a long time. So this is pretty big as far as when we're looking at the week, but this is really what this week is bringing for us. So this is the truth. Yeah, this is that strength card, overcoming this. Yeah, there's definitely overcoming a pattern of immaturity, reactivity here in regards to our home, which hurt the Cancer energy. So this is home and relationships. So there's definitely patterns here that this is calling out. For those of you that this resonates, this is an opportunity for us to actually finally overcome with them, nurture these aspects of ourselves that are angry, if you deal with anger issues, because of these sort of dynamics. Yeah, this is divine timing. This is time to face this. This is something we've just been dealing with for a long time. We've just kind of sat around waiting for change. What do we like? This Three of Wands is really about like this waiting energy, like wanting things to be different, wanting things to change. But what are you actively doing to? Yeah, there we go. Eight of Pentacles, the work card. What are you How are you working through this? Like, what are you actively applying in your life to do the work to change this? And that's what we're being asked this week. I'm going to get one more here for, I want to see the Knight of Wands. So finally getting, and sometimes it does take some anger or rage to really light a fire under you, to take action, to finally address something. And that's what that Ace of Wands is about. It's like being inspired by your anger, or being inspired by your triggers to finally do something about connections in your life, and making active decisions to work on these issues and these dynamics. Because there's a lot of, this is bringing up, for a lot of you, these connections are very manipulative, and there's a lot of control issues that it's referring to. It's like this is the Five of Wands, is about a lose-lose game. Whatever dynamics are happening, everyone's losing. No one's winning. Even if someone seems to always be in control or getting what they want, they're mentally and emotionally losing in the situation, and they're ultimately hurting those around them. So again, this is really big week around, because most of our wounding was created by other people in our lives, and what we didn't get from them or how they hurt us. So this is the truth. There's going to be some major clarity around wounds that are still kind of infected for you. You may you may have thought like, oh no, I've healed that, or I'm over that. But this week is really going to show you the spotlight on the things where it's like, nope, those are still there. Those wounds are still open. They weren't healed. So what's with the 2 kings here? Yeah, so there is definitely, this is referring to it could be one person, or maybe like a family unit or friends or connections. The 3 of Pentacles is really about working together to build a more stable dynamic here. So maybe people are also going to be more willing to do the work to help a collective, meaning like a family or a relationship or something like that this is bringing up. All right, everyone. Hopefully that helped give you some perspective for the week. At least it gives you a 1-up on being proactive about not going into things blindly, especially when we have some messy weeks with the planetary aspects. So, all right. Thanks for joining in. Don't forget to take a look at your monthly zodiac readings, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.